Hello everyone, my name is Rob Hufschmidt. I hope you are doing well. I work as a solution manager at Cegeka, and today I would like to give a presentation around customer data platforms. Customer data platforms are questions that we as a software implementation partner receive often from potential customers, but something that we notice is that there is a lot of there are a lot of questions around what is a customer data platform, what's the difference between a customer data platform and a customer relationship management system, how about a data management platform, how about master data services. And so today we will not focus on all the technicalities of these platforms. Instead, we would like to zoom in on an example that probably gives you a good idea of what the customer data platform should be. And we will do that by presenting to you a business case, and the business case is actually based on what we are doing right now during this presentation. We are organizing a webinar and we want to invite customers to it. So let's use that business case as an example to then see how that relates to potentially a customer data platform. So in the first phase, when we organize a webinar, what we would like to do is we would like to invite potential customers. So basically, we look at our customer database, we look at how we can create a segment out of that database. And in the example that I would like to present to you, let's assume that customers who have placed an order in the last couple of months at Cegeka, we would like to invite those customers for the webinar around customer data platforms. And so what you see here in the example is that we have an email that we will send towards our customers to invite them to register for the webinar. And so we will need an email to be sent to those customers. And then secondly, we also need a landing page. It's a digital way of receiving registrations for a specific webinar. So people can leave their contact details. And so as soon as they click on the Register Today button, we receive their registration in our environment. So if we look at what we need from a technological perspective, which kind of applications we will need to support us with this, there is an overview. So as I mentioned, we want to use some financial data to make that query, to make that segmentation of customers that we want to invite for the webinar. Second, we will need some sort of email marketing solution to send the email to our potential customers to invite them for the webinar. Obviously, when you receive the email, you want to click and you want to go to a landing page to fill in your contact details. So we need a landing page solution to manage the registrations. And then finally, probably we also want to follow up on the people who registered. So we need some sort of an event management tool to follow up on attendances after the webinar. So if we look at the different components that we need to support us with that from a technology stack, we will see that we need three layers. We will need a system of record, which is in our case the financial system, an ERP, where we have financial data. In other words, who has placed an order with our organization and within the last couple of months. Then next, what we will need is some sort of marketing solution to support us with, on the one hand side, the email marketing, and on the other hand side, an event management solution for following up on the registrations. And so the marketing solution, in other words, we call those customer engagement solutions because we're engaging, we're communicating back and forwards with our customers. And then the top layer, it's a customer experience layer. So whenever we invite people to register themselves for our webinar, we want that in the best possible way, in an easy way. So we need a digital solution to do that. And therefore we have a landing page. It's a web-based page, but the focus is on customer experience there. So that's the first scenario, and probably with the scenario that I pitched, what we have right here is enough, but let's make things a bit more complicated. Let's assume that instead of one system of record with just the financial data, we want to extend that a little bit. In other words, let's assume that we say, hey, we don't want only customers who have placed an order with us for the last couple of months. We also want people who are actually showing interest in the domain of customer data platforms. And then thirdly, maybe we also want to follow up on people who went on our website and already downloaded some information and actually showed interest on the website as well. with that example, you will see that there are multiple systems of record where customer data is stored. And we actually want to make a combination of those data sources to invite our customers. So what you see here is we have 3 data sources that need to feed our customer engagement layer to send the email and then to receive the registrations. And so what you see here is that an integration becomes a bit complex, and if we need to make a coupling between the systems of record and the customer engagement layer, that can be a challenge. So actually, it's better to implement an enterprise integration layer to make sure that integrations that we make become more easy. And also, as we add potentially in a later phase additional systems of record, the integration layer should help us with that, with supporting that. So that's the second scenario. We have more extensive segmentation, and the same layering can actually be applied, but we just added some integration services. Now let's assume that we want to go a bit further as well on this scenario. So let's assume that we do not only want to invite our customers to join in on the webinar, we actually also want to support them with their registration. Imagine that they have an issue with registering, or they've got some questions, and we want to provide them the right support. And afterwards, we also want our salespeople to follow up on the people who registered for the webinar. Well, then potentially we need some additional tools to do that. And so this brings us to the third scenario. And as you can see, we've added in the customer engagement section additional solutions. We need a service solution to support our customers whenever they have an issue with registrations. And we need a sort of sales solution to do the follow-up whenever someone attended to the webinar to see if we can maybe help them if they have shown some interest. And again, this adds some complexity to the whole to the overview that we have here. And what you see right now is that we've got 3 systems of record that potentially needs to feed 3 customer engagement solutions. And that again becomes a bit complex, because then you're syncing the same customer data towards different customer engagement solutions. So you're actually duplicating the same data over different systems. And this is actually where a customer data platform comes to play. A customer data platform should provide you one central area where all your customer data is stored, and it can be a combination of different systems of record, but your customer data, a unified customer profile exists, and then your customer engagement applications, such as a marketing solution, a customer service solution, or a sales solution, can actually benefit from that. And doing so, you can actually provide better service towards your customer, whether it's from a marketing perspective or a sales perspective or a customer service perspective. Your customer data platform provides you all the data, the 360-degree view of your customer that is necessary for your customer engagement applications. And so now let's think in the best possible way about servicing our customers. Let's assume that someone goes to the website and they try to register themselves for the webinar, but they seem to fail. And they don't actually have the reflection to pick up a phone and call Cegeca as an organization to say, hey, I have a problem. Potentially, we want to be more proactive. We want to engage with our customers because we know that they did not finish their registration. And if we want to do that, we need an additional layer to the whole solution stack. And that last layer is an analytics and a prediction layer. In the customer experience layer, in that web platform, we can monitor if someone tries to register and if he doesn't succeed or if he doesn't finish his registration. And so doing so, we can receive a notification and feed that to our support solution, that customer engagement application for service. And we can actually proactively engage with our customers and say, hey, we noticed that you did not fulfill your registration. What's up? Can we be of any assistance to help you with that? And now I think the whole overview of layers within the solution stack is complete. And you can see the complexer your process and the more complex your scenario becomes, the more need there is to have that layered approach. So let's just reflect back on that. Where do we see a customer data platform in the whole overview of solutions? We've got our systems of record. That's what we typically start with. Those are the platforms where our customer data is stored, and it can be any type of solution. It can be a financial system. It can be any database that you have somewhere. Whatever database or tool that you have that is storing customer information can be interesting for your customer engagement solutions and for your customer experience solution. So we want to bring that data towards the top layers in the solution stack. And to do so, we need an enterprise integration layer. Some way to make sure that data, whenever it is created and updated in your systems of record, flows in an easy way towards your customer engagement and your customer experience layer. And so that's what we need an enterprise integration layer for. And then obviously the enterprise integration layer needs to consolidate all the different data sources into one unique customer profile. Name it your customer 360-degree view if you like. And this is actually what the richness can be if you have a customer engagement application with a customer data platform behind, because the customer data platform gives you that full overview of how do we know that customer, how is he engaging with us, what are his questions, what's his interest, are there any issues with them. All that information is essential and crucial for your customer engagement and customer experience solutions. Analytics and predictions. If we look at what customers are expecting nowadays, it is for companies to be proactive towards them. We don't want companies to be reactive. We want, if I'm interested in something, please feed me then the information that I need. If I've got an issue and you know that there is a potential issue, please come forward and help me already. So you need a layer that helps you with analyzing all that customer data that resides in your customer data platform, and then gives you next best actions in your customer engagement layer. Go ahead and send your customer that information, or go ahead and take contact because we noticed that he's got some issues. It's something that is essential to proactive customer service or proactive sales, and therefore we need that analytics layer. And then obviously we need our customer engagement layers. These are the tools that we use internally as a company to better serve our customers, to streamline our internal processes wherever we've got interactions with customers. And typically we see those in the domains of marketing, sales, customer service, field service, and so on. And then last but not least, obviously, you want to serve your customers on the platforms of their preference. So it's an omni-channel approach that every company should actually be implementing nowadays. That means that we serve our customers either on a mobile phone or on a tablet or a computer, or even through the phone or email, whatever our customer needs. And so obviously you see that layering is essential to support you with that. I would like to take the theory of what I've been explaining right now and map this on a couple of implementations that we did at Cegica, some reference cases that we have. And I would like to start with one of our top reference cases. It is Renta Solutions. Renta Solutions is a company that has created software for the automotive industry. They facilitate better communication between car dealers, car manufacturers, and leasing companies. Basically what they have is a platform that helps you better with the ordering of a car and then the delivery of a car, right? So a leasing company can order a car, it goes through a car dealer, and then once the car has been delivered, it goes back to the leasing company, and it actually is a platform where that communication is streamlined. The same they've implemented for everything that is to do with changing your tires or doing maintenance on your car. Again, at Cegica, I have a company car. If I go to a specific tire center, I probably don't want to wait for that tire center to contact the leasing company to check if there's a possible way to serve me. I want to have that automated, and this is actually what Renta Solutions does. So they actually help car dealers and leasing companies to better serve end customers. So in that sense, Cegica and Renta Solutions share the same vision, the same idea about customer experience. And then lastly, there is also a solution that helps these companies with better invoicing and archiving solutions. If we look a little bit at the solution stack and what we did for Renta Solutions from a customer data platform perspective, this is actually what we implemented. So Renta Solutions had their different software platforms where they had their customer data. Customers have a specific solution for the order and delivery, or for the tire and maintenance, or for the invoice and archiving. And that data was actually very interesting for them to better serve them from a sales and customer service perspective. So what we did was we took those data sources and we integrated them through Azure Integration Services as an enterprise integration layer, and we fed that data into Microsoft Dataverse. And Microsoft Dataverse, it's a data service in the cloud that allows you to create that single customer data profile, or that customer profile. So your customer 360, based on the different systems of record, is created in Microsoft Dataverse, allowing us to do analytics on the data using Microsoft Power BI, and allowing us to, based on those analytics, create best next actions in the different customer engagement applications, of which we used FlexMail as a marketing tool, of which we used Microsoft Dynamics 365 for a sales tool, of which we used Microsoft Dynamics 365 for customer service to better serve customers. And again, as you can see, there's some combination of technologies right here. It's not just a Microsoft stack. We see a lot of Microsoft technology, but FlexMail, for example, is a non-Microsoft solution, and your whole layering allows you to do that. And then lastly, from a customer experience layer, Renta Solution is using Kentico as their website, and we are thinking about extending their customer experience layer with a customer self-service portal that we can use with Microsoft Power Apps. And the reason why you see a lot of Microsoft technology right now is because Microsoft, in their technology stack, they have solutions that automatically provide that layering, and that actually, with little to no integration, can provide you the whole overview. So that was really interesting for Renta Solution, why they chose for a Microsoft approach. But we also have customers that not necessarily do this with a full Microsoft stack. Sonova, for example, is another of our customer reference cases. And they are a company that produce hearing aids. And these hearing machines, they help you with better hearing, obviously. But after a specific time, they need some replacement. And something that Sonova was facing was that sometimes they reached out to people who not yet needed a new hearing aid machine. And so, yeah, it's annoying when you try to help someone, but they're not actually in need. It comes across as not being served well, right? So they wanted to better serve their customers, and they wanted to reach out to their customers proactively at the right moment in time. At the moment where someone needs a new hearing aid machine, Sonova wanted to reach out to them. And actually, what you see that they applied a full data-first strategy to do this. So they had their different systems of record, CRM systems and ERP systems, where we have all that information of which customer has which kind of hearing aid machine, when did they purchase it, and based on purchase information and repurchase information, there was used a lot of analytics to make sure that we engage with customers at the right moment in time. And so we used Microsoft SQL Data Warehouse to bring all that data together into a data warehouse. And then we used Jet reporting in combination with Python and Jupyter Notebook to make sure that we define the right next best action to engage with the customer and to ask them, hey, would you be interested to maybe receive some information about our new hearing aid machines? And so we use Salesforce there as a customer engagement application for sales. And on their website, they're using Drupal. So whenever someone needs some information, they can find it on another kind of technology. So just to give you some insights on, it's not because there is specific layering that the end solution is always the same thing. You can choose your technology of preference as long as you've got the right design and that right layering within your solution stack. So then the question comes, what kind of solution should I choose? When do I choose a heterogeneous environment? When should I go all in with Microsoft, for example? And therefore, we need to start with the first question. Do you need a customer data platform Obviously, yes, but the need for your customer data platform starts with whenever you have multiple data sources with customer data. So if you want to do better customer engagement, you need to make sure that you've got all your customer data centrally to do that information. And so it starts with customer data sources that need to be combined. And there the question is, where are you from a digitalization perspective at this moment in time? Do you have already multiple data sources with your customer data? Have you just started digitalizing? Do you have a sales tool? Do you have a marketing tool? Do you have a customer service tool? Is it already existing? Do you have a customer experience web application or mobile app? Is it already there or not? For companies that are making their first steps in improving their customer engagement approach, those kind of companies, they are on the left-hand side of their maturity scale. They start digitalizing their processes, so they actually need a data platform, a customer data platform, where they can bring all the customer data together. They don't have customer data yet, and they want to have a future-proof solution where they can do that. So in that case, you see that a unified platform solution is essential. Customers that are a bit further in their evolution scale, they potentially already have a lot of solutions already. They already have a lot of data sources with customer information. And in their case, it's actually not feasible anymore to bring all their data into one platform. They already have multiple solutions. And in that case, you need to apply a data solution. You need to bring together all the data and make sure that you, through analytics and predictions, you can help your customer engagement solutions better. And so it's usually a question whether you need a customer data platform where you start gathering all your customer information in, or if you need a customer data platform where you use your existing data and see whatever you can do with that existing data. And so it's not really a matter of should I have the one or the other. Often you start with a customer data platform, and later on you need that data to work for you. So a customer data platform, what does that mean? It, out of our perspective, it consists of two essential big blocks, right? You need a data service, you need a central layer where you can build your customer 360 in. So probably you need the tools to model your customer 360. You need to maybe apply some logic to it. It needs to be secure, especially when it's in the cloud. So when we're talking about cloud, you need your right storage. And potentially you need some additional tools such as reporting and auditing. So really an operational 360 of your customer. And then obviously bringing in your data into that 360 is done through what we mentioned earlier in the integration layer, an integration platform. And that integration platform must help you with following up on the integrations, making sure that whenever an issue in the integration occurs, that we can follow up on that it's stable, that it's performant, and that it's high available. So these two components are essential from a customer data platform. If we look more at a customer data platform, where the focus is more on data, we need other kinds of solutions. We need a tool that connects to multiple existing data sources, brings that data together, and is actually specialized in creating that unified customer profile. So that's the thing that you will see. The customer profile is needed to then create your customer KPIs, your measures on which you want to generate specific actions in your customer engagement solutions. So you receive some information from different applications, which orders have they placed, what kind of interests are they showing, and so on and so on. And based on that, you could say, all right, these are the customers that you should engage from a marketing perspective. These customers, they have some issues on the website with registration of their webinar, for example. Well, we will create an action in our customer service solution. And so that's actually what the customer data platform is. They use the data to do analytics on the behavior of our customer and to then provide the next best actions in the customer engagement applications. And so if we look from a Microsoft perspective, what Microsoft can deliver to you, there are multiple ways to approach this. So if we look at a customer data platform, then for Cegeca, Microsoft Dynamics and Dataverse would be possibly the first step to look into. If you're looking more to a data platform, then customer insights can be a first step to connect to your first data sources and to see what that data can do for you. But if you already have a lot of extensive data and maybe you already have data warehouses and data lakes available, then probably you need a more modern data platform such as Azure Synapse with SQL Data Warehouse capabilities. So it's too early to tell for anyone in this call which is the right solution for them. If you're interested in receiving some information about this, if you would like to have some discussions with us, feel free to reach out to us. We are available through our different social channels, and so make sure to also check those out, because we will be providing a lot of interesting content to you on LinkedIn and on YouTube to help you further. I would like to thank you for your attention and speak soon. Bye.